Do you have any artistic or creative gifts, and what are they?
Yeah, I do, and I play violin. I'm creative writing majors.
I'm working on my acting career.
I'm not much of an artist.
I sing, and I've tried out for American Idol before.
I used to sing.
I do art and gymnastics.
I play basketball, and believe it or not, I wrestle.
I play sports.
I'm not very artistic, but I'm very into sports.
I dance. Dancing.
I can draw really well, and I guess I can sing okay, and I guess if dance is included in that, I can dance.
I draw a bit.
I can draw. I'm an artist.
Drawing.
I have no creativity.
I'm into drawing and coloring art.
I'm kind of good at drawing. I used to be into art.
I'm a guitarist and a songwriter.
Have you ever tried to use these gifts to get a value-based or faith-based message across to an audience or group?
Not really. I just sing, for fun because I really like it.
To have with my acting career.
I'm in martial arts, I'm in karate, so we go around and we do shows for kids and stuff like that.
Through our dancing, we show our feelings and stuff and our expression.
I have used it to get a message across, definitely, within songs and things like that.
And if I knew that it was going to help, then I would do it to help express my religion.
Most of us have taken art classes in school since we were very young.
Maybe it was just a class on how to stay inside the lines as a kindergartner.
Or a figure drawing class or sculpture class in high school.
Whether we were pretty bad at it or really gifted, art affects our lives.
And even with the push for science and math, we still learn to write stories, maybe to create a haiku in school.
Many of us find a place of creativity stirring in our hearts, and we learn to play instruments, sing, write music.
Even if we aren't artistic geniuses, many of us have written a poem or two in our own, created stories, drawn, or painted.
The arts are part of our lives because they are part of what makes us human.
But have we ever used art to help us or others grow in our faith?
Proclaiming the good news in creative ways. That's what we'll be talking about today. Hi everyone, I'm Kenny.
And I'm Vanessa.
And this is Real Faith TV. Many of the teens on the street discuss their creative gifts and how they share them with others.
We'll talk to them more in a few minutes, as well as meet our studio guests.
But first, let's meet our spotlight guest, Mike, a student filmmaker and writer.
He'll talk about some ways we can get creative when it comes to sharing our faith.
Let's hear him now.
I think artistic and spirituality can kind of go hand in hand sometimes. Like they have these indie Christian companies and they have Christian rock artists, and your creativity kind of flows through you and you can show your own spirituality through your music or your paintings or your movies, and it's an awesome way to just kind of send the message of God rather than just preaching it. You can show it in a creative way. And I think it's cool that we have all of these tools and different types of media, different types of communications, whether it be books, plays, musicals, film. We can use and utilize this stuff to preach God's message. I think a lot of the time kids our age think, oh, we can't really make a difference because we're 16, 17 years old. But we really can. Any teenager who just writes music maybe for fun, doesn't really do anything with it, they're still creating that message. And even if they go on YouTube, they can change someone's life. We can learn so much about ourselves through our creativity. I know that I learned a lot about me personally on my writing style and how I kind of develop characters and whatnot. And with God, honestly, writing has helped me develop my faith because I really had to research and reflect on myself spiritually in order to have my works pass off as real, so the people who are watching can really believe in it too. I think the church can really open it up and have maybe film festivals to kind of show that God can be shown through multiple ways, whether it be movie, music, art. And they can have festivals. Youth groups can say, oh, does anyone want to make a movie, or does anyone want to paint a picture, or express your feelings through media and some sort of art form.
Yeah, I don't know about you, but I know I only sing, and I know that's sing for mass and stuff, but I wish I was more of a filmmaker. I feel that'd be awesome, be able to make films and stuff, and photographs would be sweet.
Yeah, I totally agree. I don't think anyone's too young to make a difference. Well, let's see what our studio guests have to say about this topic.
Okay, they are Laura, Ricky, Justin, Jenna, Rachel, Justin, and Allie.
How do you express your creativity, and have you ever used it in your faith life?
Well, I sing in church, and we sing all different songs about the Bible and all different hymns, and that's kind of how I stay in touch with my faith life and express myself.
I'm a musician. You can also call me like a liturgical musician. Study like the canon, which is like all the Gregorian chants and stuff. It's pretty cool stuff.
I like music a lot too. I sing and I participate in the school musicals and also in the chorus in my school. And I also like other forms of art, but mostly performing arts.
I like to write and I like to make films a lot. And I also like to sing. Our choir did Vivaldi's Gloria this year. It was proclaiming God's word, but in a kind of creative way, and it was in Latin, so I thought that was really cool.
Well, in school I acted in Godspell, and it was really fun to see us like proclaiming the gospel to the audience in a way that the audience and the younger generation especially would understand. Now when I'm in church and I hear like some of the gospel stories that we acted out, I'm like, oh, I remember acting that story out, and I have like a new appreciation for them.
What I do is I write poems, and a lot of them I bring faith into it, and then my friends even get into it and look at it, and they share some stuff with me as well.
You know, I love when I can get like a deeper message from a movie.
Totally. Like in the Harry Potter movies, there are tons of deeper messages. One time Dumbledore says, "We are only as strong as we are united, as weak as we are divided."
Oh yeah, now that you say that, here at Real Faith, it makes me kind of think of the body of Christ. There are a lot of faith-filled messages in art. We need to look for them.
When we make art, we imitate God in a certain sense every time we create.
That tells us the art itself is a reflection of God, if used with good intention.
So, is there a way to tell a story to point people to the good news of Christ through art?
For Mike, he found the art of filmmaking to be his calling in proclaiming the good news.
He is currently working on Choices, his second feature-length film with the students and faculty of his high school.
Let's go back to him now as he gives us some insight into how he writes his scripts.
And some of the biggest challenges he faces as a visual artist.
One of my strongest artistic and creative gifts would be my writing. I started out writing poetry, and that kind of blended into writing scripts and making movies. And now doing my latest film, I've started writing lyrics for music. Most of the time for my inspiration, I kind of just chill in my room, but the biggest thing that I do is I listen to music that like sets me in the mood for when I'm writing. So if it's a very like sad or downtrodden scene, then I'll listen to mellow music, or if it's very like upbeat, I'll listen to something upbeat. My main goal with writing is to portray hope, faith, love, and just good moral values, because a lot of the time you see stuff on TV and it's not really the greatest for morality. The film club director said it'd be cool if a student wrote a movie, so I decided to write a 60-page script, and we kind of just did it. We built up this film program from nothing and just brought it to life, and now we're making films each year and making shorts next year, so it's been an adventure. The biggest message that I'm trying to get across by doing the movie that I'm making, Choices, would probably be that even if you're in the darkest of places, the worst of times, it will get better, and with the help of your friends, your family, with God, there's always hope, and you should never give up. I think the biggest challenge in pursuing film is probably the criticism. It's getting people to view it and accept it for what it is. Faith-based films, a lot of people kind of like shy away from it because, oh, they think it won't be funny, oh, it's these strict rules or whatever, but it's really not.
What do you think are some of the challenges artists of faith face when pursuing their craft?
It's not necessarily the easiest message to push on to the people.
There's always criticism, because I find when I write and when I do make films and stuff like that, when I show it to people, they always have something to say about it. And he's actually really right about the whole Christian theme, because a lot of my friends, if I told them to go see a Christian movie with me, they'd kind of be like, nah, I kind of want to see a comedy, or I want to see a drama. And I don't think that there's any reason why we can't make comedies and dramas that revolve around good messages, good Christian messages.
There are a lot of artists who seek the approval of everybody, but that's impossible. You can't get everyone to love what you create, and a lot of artists reach this roadblock trying to figure out how to incorporate everybody's likes. So they just have to create what they want to create and be happy with it.
I agree. I think they face a lot of judgment. I feel like there's a lot of pressure from other medias about not being religious, and that's not always a good thing, because then people might be like tempted to not post or talk about religion in forms of art.
In his letter to artists, Pope John Paul II wrote,
"Every genuine art form, in its own way, is a path to the innermost reality of man and of the world.
It is therefore a wholly valid approach to the realm of faith, which gives human experience its ultimate meaning.
This means that art is a perfect way to bring people to the truth and beauty of the good news.
There are many people already using their gifts of art to proclaim the gospel.
Some people do it through religious art.
The stories of the scriptures have influenced artists and musicians through the ages, from Rembrandt and Michelangelo to Bach and Verdi.
Sometimes it may be difficult to see how more formal art has a place in everyday life.
Where do we find art that connects us to a faith in a contemporary way?
Can we look to contemporary movies and music for inspiration?
Let's go back to the teens on the street, where we asked them what art forms most inspired them in their everyday lives.
Let's check it out.
The movie Raise Your Voice. It's a movie pretty much where a girl loses her brother and she uses her musical ability to go forward for something like she wanted to do.
The Notebook has inspired me to be a good girlfriend through a relationship.
The Walk to Remember. The main character goes to church every day, like, and her dad's a pastor.
She struggles with her leukemia, and then there's this bad boy, Landon, and he comes in and they end up falling in love, and he respects her religion and everything, and he becomes a better person.
The movie Dark Knight, the famous line is, "Why so serious? I just take life. It's just life. It's fun. Enjoy it."
The Bronx Tale, and it shows you that there's racism in the world, and that everyone just has to overcome it.
This movie, The Passion Christ, that inspired me to do good.
Pursuit of Happiness is one of my favorite movies. The mindset of being successful is worth more than how much you're getting.
A movie called Blind Side.
I personally think Glee kind of helped me out because that just showed you to be yourself.
Fresh Prince of Bel-Air inspires me to be good.
It's a sports show called Make-A-Wish. They take kids that have disability and they take them to be with one of their dream role models.
Justin Bieber's song Pray, it inspires me to be Catholic, and a lot of his songs relate to what I'm going through.
This one song, it's by Mercy Me. It's called I Can Only Imagine. It's a good song.
Christmas shoes. It's about a kid whose mom is dying of cancer. He wants to get her Christmas shoes for Christmas so that she looks pretty when she goes to heaven.
If I'm trying to get in spiritual mode, throw on Star 99.1, that's what's up. It's Christian rock. It just puts me in a good mood. Helps me connect with God. Definitely helps me pray.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think music is a good connector just to your soul in general, and especially if it inspires you to do better things, or even helps you to calm down after you did something wrong, or help you to forgive someone else.
Well, whenever I get in the car, I turn on the Christian station because it's really good music, actually, and it has a good message. It's not all about drinking and partying. It's about finding God and trying to be a better person.
My religion teacher made us do a project, and we had to find a Christian song to relate with the virtues and a secular song to relate to the virtues. And at first I was not so enthusiastic towards the Christian because I was expecting it to be not easy to relate to. But I ended up finding an artist, her name is Francesca Battistelli, and she writes a lot of beautiful songs about hope. I'm really glad that I found her.
I use music a lot to, bring joy not only into my life, but others who are less fortunate, by helping people who don't have so much money to learn instruments.
Yeah, I just read this book called The 5 People You Meet in Heaven, and it's a really, really good book, and it made me realize that I shouldn't be afraid of death. And I think it's awesome when an author can incorporate Christian ideas into a book and you read it, and it just gives you so much insight. It gives you different perspective, and it kind of made me less afraid of death.
Movies can have Christian messages in them. The Chronicles of Narnia has a lot of, deep meaning behind the characters. Aslan the lion could be Jesus. The witch could be the devil. Movies like that are fun to watch, but also, on a more deeper level, they're very spiritual as well.
I feel like a lot of movies have Christian values in them that aren't quite as obvious, and I feel like you have to look for them some of the time, which can also be very important.
An emerging number of Christian artists are recently impacting the arts in every area, from music to film.
Many of these works have a much more subtle message than straight-out Jesus music, but their message is more universal.
Their goal is to produce art that is true, good, and beautiful, reflecting God to the world.
Next, Mike talks to us about some of the faith-based art that has impacted him in his own work as an artist.
And what has inspired him to write his latest film, Choices.
Letters to God. That's one of the movies that I was kind of inspired to do faith-based film, just because watching it, you felt kind of warm inside, and it not only was just a great morality-wise, but it also tied in the faith theme to it. And a band called Relient K, they sing about not only Jesus, but good moral things. They talk about hope and joy and love and that kind of stuff. I definitely listen to a lot of contemporary Christian rock. When I listen to it, I just feel good inside, and I feel it brings out the best in me. What inspired me to write this story was actually personal experience. I really wasn't the happiest of people, and I was kind of in a dark time. Life just was not improving, and I went to see a show called Running Through the Fire. It really just taught that even if things are going bad, like, Jesus can come and pick you up. That's what sparked my spirituality journey. From there, it just went, and I thought, oh, it'd be cool to inspire other people running through the fire. It's so awesome that you can convey such a powerful message through any type of media, whether it be a musical on stage, whether it be lyrics in a song, whether it be making movies like I do. All of these different aspects of communication can convey the same message that God is there for you, that He will help you, He will protect you, and that it may not be easy. It's something that you have to work at, but it's totally worth it in the end.
How can we bring our faith into creative works?
I think we could use like gospel stories or faith teachings to like create a song or draw a picture that gets like the viewer to like ponder over what you wrote or drew and maybe inspire them to create their own masterpiece to inspire other people.
Yeah, I know my mom actually, she makes these mandalas and they're really beautiful, and she does it as like a form of meditation and prayer towards God. But when at the end she has this beautiful piece of art and she can explain to someone like what she was thinking of and how she was praying when she was making it.
I saw Running Through Fire. It was really inspirational because it showed that God is always there even in the hardest times, and it really came through to me as something that portrays a lot of hope, and I really liked it. And me and Mike go to school together, and I'm really excited because I really want to see Choices, and it seems like he's going to do a great job with it. And a lot of my friends are in it, and they're saying that it's really good, so I can't wait to see it.
I think it can be kind of simple to, express our faith through our creativity, because just using the gifts that God gave us can be a form of praising Him and thanking Him for them.
One of our talents as something that is religious, but we still put ourselves and our religion into it.
Art refers us back to the Creator as we create. And truth is, it's not always easy to see.
Sometimes art can show us our inhumanity, but this should compel us to be more humane.
Sometimes music, stories, and poetry tell us stories of pain and sorrow, but these can help us to seek healing.
Art can be twisted to draw people away from what is good, or used as a creative way to give off a message of faith.
So, would you like to see more movies and TV shows with a faith-based message?
That's what we ask the teens on the street.
Let's hear them now.
Yes, I would like to see better movies and stuff like that out there, because kids follow a lot of things that what movies do and what rappers say, so people need to set better examples.
I would like to see more television shows with faith-inspiring programs, because I feel it will help spread our faith in religion.
Yeah, because I think they send out a really good message to everyone and it inspires people. I guess there could be more movies about faith and stuff like that.
I would like to see more because, I don't know, I feel like kids aren't doing the right things lately.
Celebrities, they don't understand that they have a big influence on the young kids and the young teens, and some adults, to be honest with you.
I think it'd be good to have more inspiring things go on.
All TV shows now are just about stupid things that no one really cares about, and we should really be learning about something more than just like the Jersey Shore, for example. Like, we need to learn more.
There should be more television shows and movie shows with faith-based, because it shows kids how they should act and how they should behave better than what most TV shows and movies are about.
So if there's more about religion, faith, and all that, then I think people will learn more about who they are.
Do you think that movies, television shows, and songs can teach people about God without being outwardly religious?
Yeah, definitely.
No.
Nowadays, no, I don't think you can.
Not at all. I feel like everything has to be politically correct.
I'm pretty sure they can.
They can teach you about God without being real religious. Yes, they can.
If the message is follow God, maybe they could show a different message follow peace or something like that.
If the words will end up speaking to you, and if you see other people talking about it, then most likely other people want to get to know about it too.
So do you think proclaiming the gospel always means making religious art?
I mean, it's really what you make of it. It's what you feel and what you feel it is and what you think about it.
Yeah, I think what you're saying, it does matter what you feel, but also how one of the teens on the street, they were saying that you have to be politically correct, and I think a lot of the artists might struggle with that.
I feel like because our religion is made up of different values, if you portray the values, it doesn't specifically have to show the religion, but it still gets the message across.
Sometimes I'll be hanging out with my friends and a Christian song will come up on my iPod and they'll really like it, and I'll tell them, oh yeah, that's a Christian rock group, and they'll be like, really? It is? It's just something that it shouldn't matter, like it shouldn't be labeled that it's Christian, like this is a Christian movie, this is a Christian book. It should just have those Christian values and people should read it and still be able to enjoy it.
I went away for a weekend retreat and I never really thought of like I'm a singer, but I never really thought of myself to be like much of a songwriter. Like I've tried in the past, but hasn't really worked out. But I don't know, like that weekend for some reason, like I was just like making these, I made like 3 like killer songs. So like I want to like record and it's like, they're like actually like pretty legit, but they're not like outwardly, I'm not like, it's not like, oh, God this, God that, but it's just like, and I feel like God like worked through me to like put like his ideas on paper, like for me to like give to other people. That's why I'm like really trying to be really proactive and like going out and recording it because they're gonna be good, so.
You know, we watch movies like The Chronicles of Narnia, Lord of the Rings, or even Harry Potter. Like, a lot of people think Harry Potter is like evil because it has like the witchcraft and everything. But the messages of the movie, like the main ideas of them, convey Christian values, you know, like good conquers evil and, you know, stuff like that.
Yeah, I really like Harry Potter. And like you said, there's a lot of messages in there. I think love is definitely a big one because Harry had love and, you know, Voldemort didn't. And I think that's definitely something today. If you have love, you have it all. And also sacrifice is a big one. Harry, basically, he sacrificed a lot. And so did his friends. They sacrificed everything. Some of them sacrificed their lives.
Finally, our Spotlight guest Mike gives us advice on how to hone our creativity as Catholics.
And how God will join us in our creative journey through our prayers and our relationship with others.
If other teenagers want to make either a film, music, paint a picture based on faith or God, I would say totally go for it. If you set your goal on whatever you want to do, then you can totally achieve it with the help of your friends, family, God, maybe bumps in the road, but you just got to keep on persevering. You want to talk about God and get the point across, so you can do that. But having the believability factor in it and just trying to relate to different people, that's the tough part. But if you set your mind to it and if you use yourself, use your experiences in life and just kind of put yourself into the story, into the works that you're creating, then you can totally get other people to get into it. Working as a team through my movies has been an awesome experience. I've made a lot of different friendships and it's also been a learning experience. A lot of the times when you're a director, you kind of need to stop thinking in the mindset of, oh, I'm the director, I get to call the shots, and rather listen to other people. With faith, doing this movie that I'm making, it's called Choices, it's really taught me just how to look at myself and look at my relationship with God and look at my relationship with other people and try and improve on my spirituality and my friendships with everyone. The one moment that stands out to me that I realized God's presence was really like in this film was at our second read-through for the film. We had a first read-through and it went a little rough, and so we did some edits on the script and we kind of strengthened a lot of the characters and the themes in the show. And at the second read-through, it just seemed like the cast really bonded together and I could feel God's presence because everyone was just not only trying 100%, but everyone was having a great time, and you could see it was a very positive atmosphere and everyone seemed to be enjoying themselves, and it came out really, really good.
Do you find the church being supportive and encouraging Catholic artists, or not so much and kind of banishing them down?
They could do a lot more to bring creativity into the whole realm of faith.
I remember back in grammar school, they used to have these pro-life poster contests, and you would make a poster and they would, or even actually poems, and they would have different opportunities for them to be displayed in a calendar that would be distributed.
You know, I think the church is more supportive of artists who portray their message as like the main idea, like their plot has to be specifically about the church morals, and not as supportive of artists who make a movie about something totally different, not unrelated to church morals, but their underlying theme is like correct.
Yeah, I think the church is pretty supportive. I mean, there's the Reimage Film Festival that recognizes young filmmakers, which is really cool because I love to make film. But I think there could be some more things, like maybe poetry contests or art contests, just a way to get young teens that like ourselves more into it and more focusing their gifts on their faith.
It's important to understand that our creativity is not meant to be guarded for selfish purposes,
but to be shared with others, be it decorating the house with the family at Christmas,
or packing every seat in the house for a movie premiere.
We're asked to use our gifts and talents to reflect our faith and bring others to Christ.
Proclaiming the gospel is about more than standing on a corner telling people about Jesus.
It is about giving the gift of yourself to projects and works that make people think.
That bring them towards what John Paul II called the abyss of light.
A never-ending experience of God who loves us.
So in what ways can you use your creative gifts to proclaim your faith?
We'd love to hear from you.
Contact us at RealfaithTV.com.
Or share your thoughts with us on Twitter.
And we'll leave you today with this excerpt from the letter to artists.
Artists of the world, may your many different paths all lead to that infinite ocean of beauty, where wonder becomes awe, exhilaration, and unspeakable joy.
May you be guided and inspired by the mystery of the risen Christ, whom the Church, in these days, contemplates with joy.
May your art help to affirm that true beauty, which has a glimmer of the Spirit of God.
Will transfigure matter, opening the human soul to the sense of the eternal.
Thanks for watching.
We'll see you next time on Real Faith TV.
God bless.